course she's back there arranging stuff. She's a home stager, so she's gonna rearrange
Can't help myself.
Yeah, she's gonna rearrange my studio as is. Hi everyone, I'm your host, Meg Barlament of Eastside Living. And my very first guest is Kim Denney, and she is the owner of Arrange It Home Staging. 19 years now, right?
You're right. Just a couple weeks ago, April. So very exciting.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Thanks.
All right, I have a question for you. First of all, how long have we known each other?
Oh my gosh. I'm getting goosebumps. We were, I think it was high school, Meg. I think we were standing in line at a height line in the drill team, and we were right next to each other.
Yeah.
We were right next to each other, and all those 6 a.m.
Practices.
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
Yes, we were. We
So
were very
crazy.
disciplined.
Yeah.
Going to work in the dark.
1984, then is when we
Yeah.
started together.
Yes. So many fun things.
All right. So I have some questions for you.
Absolutely.
And basically how I'm just doing this podcast, it's brand new, just starting, just having conversations.
Yeah.
So no right answers.
We're good at that. We're women. We know how to have conversations.
Exactly.
Yes, we do.
No right answers, no wrong answers.
No.
So what exactly, for those people don't know, what exactly does a home stager do?
Well, a lot of people think it's putting couches in living rooms, and it is project management for sure, for certain. We go into a home, we will talk to the homeowner, and we will figure out a strategy to figure out the best way to market their home to get the most money for them in the shortest amount of time so they can just move on to the next thing. And it can be daunting, depending on what state your home is in, how long you've lived there. So one size does not fit all, one size does not fit. Everyone is a different size. So we go in and we get your home ready with all the aspects, the furniture to just the flow, everything synchronized and flowing and looking good so that when the buyers come in, they fall in love and they want it to be theirs.
Do you think staging really makes a difference?
Oh my gosh. Do you know how many times people have said to me, well, it's a buyer's market or it's a seller's market? And I'm like, do you want more money for your home? It doesn't matter if it's a hot market or a slow market. Your home is an individual product and it's your biggest asset you will ever sell. It's not a car, it's not a piece of jewelry. You cannot leave money on the table. So home staging matters no matter what price point, no matter what kind of a market we're in. It's just on an individual level, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and that's why I think like before and afters are so important, because it makes such a difference. And to pay between like $4,000 and $7,000 to get a house staged, depending on the price point or square footage, everything, it's crazy how much more someone can get for it for the most part.
It's true. I was just looking up some statistics, just wanting to come in here and have some current market knowledge. And in the Seattle area alone, they're saying, between 1% and 10% more for your home. And they took an average of about $44,000 more you'll make on your home because of our price points. So 1% is $7,500, 10% is $75,000. So if you're going to average making around $40,000 to $50,000 more on your home, and you're paying, and that's as a result of the staging, not the landscaping, not specifically on staging in Seattle, not around the world. Why wouldn't you invest in that?
Right.
And just not leave anything to chance.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between staging and interior decorating?
So years and years ago, I had a realtor call me and say, oh, I want you to come look at this house in Kirkland. By the way, she's an interior designer. And I went, wait a minute, why am I going to her home? And I got there, and I was probably 2 years into this job. Now I'm 19, so I was completely out of my skin back then with going to an interior designer's home. I get there, and I walked in, and she had gorgeous things, but heavy, oversized drapes on every curtain. We had stripes, we had floral, we had gorgeous things happening, but way too much.
Yeah.
So I instantly felt like I'm a stager. She's living in a home, and she's an interior designer. And it just completely shifted my views and just made me see the complete utter difference on the two jobs. So we edited down her home and got it ready to go. And she basically had the most beautiful things, but we had to get rid of about a third of her items. So interior decorating is for how you want to live there. Personalize it. Let's go cowboy. Let's go, shabby chic. We're going to go super modern. Staging, you want to tailor it to the demographic you think is going to come in and buy the home and just pull them through a mesmerizing emotional experience.
Yeah. Were you afraid of insulting her or hurting her feelings or anything, knowing that she was an interior designer and here you come in just kind of new to the business?
I felt like she was the princess and I was this peasant walking in from the fields like, what do I even say to her? And then once we kind of got going, she's like, honey, I know I have a lot of things in here. So she knew, and I think she needed the mental nudge on how to, even if she wasn't an interior designer, when you live in that home, you can't see the forest for the trees.
No way.
Even in my own home, it's when somebody comes in new, it's a fresh look. It's a fresh look of eyes. It's whether you're a stager or not, you're going to have somebody fresh looking at your home. So it went pretty well, but it definitely instantly made me see the difference between those two professions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
And
cool. These are questions that have come in from people that like just truly really don't understand staging or anything. So I think these are good questions. Mm-hmm. So we've already kind of touched on, do all homes need staging? So even if someone's living there, I feel like you've always done a really good job of bringing items in and removing some. Mm-hmm. And I love the fact that you're not afraid of hurting someone's feelings in the sense of, in a professional sense.
Correct.
Like you've come in and you're like, nope, that's gotta go. We'll bring this in. And I mean, obviously you'd rather stage an entire house, but I know it's different when someone's living there. But even then, do you feel like every house does need some staging?
100%. You could walk through a home and go, wow, this looks really great so far. And then you go, oh, here's the reason they had me come to the house. They have a pool table in the middle of their living room, and their realtor wants it to be a living room. Shocker. So, sometimes I open up cupboards and we've got, microwaves in the hall closet instead of towels. You want people to come through and have things. You don't want any shock value. You want everything to flow and seem super normal. So sometimes it's shifting things, sometimes it's putting things away, and sometimes they live in there and they don't realize that there's cooking odors or pet odors.
Oh yeah.
Or dirty socks from the high school kids. I mean, when you live somewhere, there, right? You don't know. You're blind to it. So there's just a lot of all the senses, all the visual, the smell, everything. It comes into play. So
kind of like when you put something on your refrigerator, a month later, it's not there. Even though it's there, you don't see it anymore because it's been sitting there for so long.
Exactly.
Probably same with
hiding in plain sight, right?
Yeah, so. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I don't even know if this is on here, but I have a question. What is the strangest thing? I mean, I know as a realtor, I feel like I could write a book, like get together with like 2 other realtors and we could write a book on crazy things we've walked in on and everything. But as far as you, what do you think is?
Well, I'm going to stay away from gross things because there's some gross things. So
gross things are good.
Like toilets, like 3 for 3, not flush. Okay, we won't. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Things like that. Knowing the stager's coming.
But that blows me away.
If it's yellow, let it mellow does not apply when the stager's coming over. I'm like, do we not? I mean, we're conserving water maybe, but
flush
the stager's coming.
Toilet.
I had people that had pet pigs, horse, and they were roaming around the downstairs, this tri-level, and they were all, that was their level. They had the bottom level.
Do they smell?
No, pigs are very clean and they use the toilet the whole 9 yards. So I've seen pet pigs. Oh my gosh,
Snakes.
I went in. Well, I did go to a home where a homeowner had all. Do you know what Maxim magazine is? It's all the Maxim magazines. And when you get a year of it, it makes a binder, like all the seams make a sexy picture of a woman.
Oh, really?
I think he had 30 years worth of Maxims in his thing. And I said, well, we're gonna have to take these down. And alien art. And then so that was an interesting challenge. And I do know that when the realtor told me later that when a buyer came to look at that home, they opened up a closet door and an alien thing fell out onto the client. So it was a very interesting client.
So right then and there,
rigging aliens for the people walking through. Really, do you want to sell your home?
Yeah, no.
So
Maybe
there's
to
a
an
lot.
alien.
I know I'll leave here and I'll think of 10 other things that have just been like, you cannot make this stuff up.
Yeah.
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 And they
Oh.
know you're coming and they still don't do things that
That's
you think
so-
they might want to hide from you, but it's okay. Yeah.
So, okay, so what, and maybe by the time we're done, you'll think of it, so just jump in and
Right.
go, oh yeah, that's
Ding,
right,
ding,
there
ding.
was a snake, or there was a
Right.
turtle, or,
Exactly.
yeah. So, let's say someone's like, I can't afford to stage my entire house, which obviously we want them to, but if they can't, what would you say the most important rooms are to stage?
So everyone hangs out in the kitchen. We all know that. And so the kitchen and family room is super important.
Mhm.
And some people say, I just want to do those and I don't want to do any of the bedrooms. I always say you should do the primary bedroom because that's the person who's paying for the home. They want to see where they're going to. This is our castle. We're so excited.
Yeah.
Where are we going to be sleeping every night? So I think the master bedroom, my primary bedroom, sorry, the main level, when you come in, first impression is super important. Curb appeal right when you get to the front door is super important. That's not exactly staging, but you know, when you get there, the buyer's agent is fiddling around and getting the key popped out, and the homeowner, the new buyer, has time to look around the cobwebs, see if there's little nails still from the Christmas lights.
Yep.
Is the hardware on the door rusty? Does it actually work? So
First impressions.
first impression is they're standing there on the front porch, and then once they get in, you want to start to pull them through the home. So if you can see an office to the side when you're coming up the walkway, you want to see some furniture in there, a nice piece of art, because they're already seeing the home from the inside from the walkway.
Mhm.
So you just want to pull them through. So I would say there's
kitchen,
kitchen,
primary.
family room, and then if you have an amazing
Entryway.
feature,
Yeah.
like your patio is the most spectacular patio ever made, you want to put some patio furniture out there.
Yeah.
If you want, if there's something spectacular that you want to really highlight, that's a square footage that other people don't have, by all means, let's maximize that and get you, because every square foot they're paying for it, so you
Right.
want to maximize the value of all those square feet.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Is staging worth it in a hot market? Like
Yeah.
on the east side?
I guess that goes back to my hot or cold market. Your home is still, statistics are it's data,
Yeah.
but your home is an individual, unique thing, and it's yours.
Yeah.
Do you want to leave money on the table? Do you
No.
want to wonder if you left something to chance? Back when I was in my 20s, I worked for a company and I was in sales, and it was cold calling and pounding the pavement, and my boss's number one thing was don't leave anything to chance. So when I think about homeowners, I think, if you have power lines over your house or you're on a busy street, don't waste time losing sleep over that. You
Yeah,
can't do,
you
those
can't
are
do
things you
anything
have
about it.
nothing, you can't do anything about it. But if you can get a smell out, or you can, there's a stain in the carpet, if you can't clean it, get new carpet. I don't like to cover up problems either, because then people wonder if you're covering up
What else?
other things.
Yeah.
We want to be full disclosure.
Yeah.
Because most of the things that people know you've been living there, they're not going to expect it to be a brand new construction. So
Yeah.
be transparent about what's going on. Back to the question, in a hot market, I think a hot market, you just get even more. Like back around COVID, 2019 was a really crazy year for things. I actually bought that year. Things were going for a couple hundred over, and in a hot market,
Yeah.
if it looks good, you're going to get more. So you can, maybe instead of 150, you're getting 200. Maybe instead of 200, you're getting 250.
Yeah.
So a hot market, you're even hotter.
And that would make sense because during COVID, only one person at a time could be in the house,
Mm-hmm.
and they had like 5 minutes to look around the entire house
Right.
and decide if they wanted to put an offer on it against multiple offers. So they had to decide.
much
So
pressure.
that would make sense that staging, it's gonna make that much more sense because they have such little time.
And Meg, that's
In
when
the house.
Matterports got really big, because people couldn't go in, and
Right.
they were
Oh, yeah.
poking through on those little dots, and they were just going through and through and through. So if you're just in a bunch of empty boxes and you're spending all that time trying to get through that house, you can't walk through it, it's frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're getting pulled through with furniture and art, totally different experience.
Yeah.
Psychologically, emotionally.
Versus a vacant, unstaged house.
Yeah.
No furniture, no nothing.
You can't see the scale. So what I will do is I'll have sometimes realtors will say, can you go look at this house? And now I've been starting with, do you have an old listing you can send me? And if they send me an old listing from a few years ago or 10 years ago when it was on the market before, if it's empty, it really doesn't do me any good. If it's got furniture in it, I don't care if it's the homeowners or it was staged, now I can see scale.
Right.
And so even as a stager, if it's an empty beige box, I won't go off of that to bring furniture in. I need to walk through and measure things then. But if they send me a house that has staging in it or at least a couch, then I can tell the scale of the room.
Yeah.
So buyers should definitely not buy anything without knowing exactly how big these rooms are. And you can't tell from a picture.
No. That's the
Yeah.
I don't understand not a vacant house, because we are such visual people, and you walk in and you see an empty room and it's like the data is so in our face as far as what makes more sense, a staged home or a vacant home. So we all know that.
And a big, huge, great room with hardwood floors looks like a basketball court. It looks even bigger than a carpeted great room.
Say that again?
So if you walk into a home that has hardwood floors and it's a great room concept, so it doesn't have little living room, dining room, family room, kitchen, all these smaller rooms.
Yeah.
And I used to walk into some of these new constructions, this huge room, and I go, wow, this looks so uncozy. It looks like a basketball court. And then I bring in a rug, and then I bring in the sofa, and I already go, oh my gosh, it's not as big as I thought. And I'm a stager. So imagine that I'm always mesmerized. I'm always elated when we're locking the doors up, and I'm like sending the realtor a photo going, oh my gosh, this room is transformed.
Yeah.
I'm even surprised.
And you've been doing this forever.
Yeah, our brains can't see the scale very well, and that's why sometimes people go out in the furniture store and they go, oh, I like that couch, I'm gonna buy it, and then they get it home and it's either really too small or too big because they just think they know what they're picturing. But so scale is a very hard thing for our brain and our eyes to coordinate.
Which goes right into first impression secrets. What do buyers notice in the first 10 seconds when they walk into a home? What do you think?
Well, if it's cold, the temperature.
Oh God, that's so true.
Frigid, cold.
Yeah.
And if it's empty, echo. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. So you have a sofa in there and a rug, it just sucks up some of that sound and it cozies it up right away.
Yep.
So temperature, smell, and auditory, and then the visual, of course. But I would say, if it feels cold and unwelcoming,
right,
you don't want that. If you walk in and it's at least room temperature, not sweltering or cold, you don't want to turn your heat off all the way just because you're not living there. You got to have it ready for somebody to walk through.
I hate that. Like when I walk into a house and it's cold
and you got a buyer.
You're
like, can you make my job easier by having it staged nicely and the furnace on?
I mean, I always try to show up before them in case the lights aren't on, the heat's not on. But I'm very sensitive to energy and vibes. And I walk into a house and I can tell you right now if that house has good energy, if that house has good vibes. Like I have some buyers, when I take them out, they're like, tell us what are you feeling, Meg? You know, because you can tell it's like, were these good people that lived here? And maybe it's right, maybe it's not, maybe it is more of the staging or the first, as it says, first 10 seconds. Kind of like when you're dating someone, the first time you see them, right?
Women know it, they say 35 seconds, but that's a whole nother podcast.
No. 3 seconds.
3
not
seconds.
35 seconds.
Well, those are for the
dilly-dally.
Yes. Those are for the dilly-dally. Dallers, whatever that word is.
Okay, what are the top 3 things every seller should remove before listing? I know the first one. Pictures.
Oh yeah, the distractions.
Family pictures.
Yes. Family photos. And it's not because they're bad or good, it's because they distract you from your journey we're trying to pull you around in.
Well, it's hard to see yourself in someone else's house.
It is.
And if I'm looking at a picture of another family, I'm all of a sudden I'm in their house. I'm not in a house for me to buy.
Well, and when I go through the houses, it's before they take all that stuff down sometimes. So I'll kind of make a joke and I'll go, oh my gosh, I love your wedding photo and nobody's going to see this. But you guys are your children were really cute when they were 2 years old,
Right.
So you need to take down, I think religious
Yes.
symbols,
Mm-hmm.
because we just want to be open to whoever's moving in.
Yeah.
Um,
Number 3.
Fans, because it makes it sound like this house is really hot all the time, or things, sometimes they want to
Oh.
overlighting. Some brokers tell me bring extra lighting, and I say we want to balance everything. We don't want to have too many lights, because they'll say, oh, is this house really dark? We don't want to have, you just too many rugs to cover. I don't want to cover up all your stains on the floor.
What am I covering?
So we don't want to turn something that you're trying to tone down into a big beacon.
Right.
We want to just neutralize all of it.
Yeah. I will literally look under rugs sometimes. If there's too many rugs in the house, I'm like,
Yeah.
that rug doesn't fit this area. What are we,
You're probably,
covering?
there's a reason, unless it's just a really
or
poorly decorated.
too many air fresheners plugged in.
Oh yeah, that's
Like,
terrible.
you are covering up a smell. What are we covering up?
Yes, the air freshener thing is, I've gone in houses where I go, I've literally unplugged them and set them on the counter, like,
I will unplug them, like once we go into contract and we're gonna do an inspection as the buyer's agent, I will unplug all of those and leave them unplugged during the inspection to see if I can smell something, and then I'll plug them back in.
Well, sometimes all it does is give you cat with citrus.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Old Smoke with citrus. It just like marries the two.
Cat urine.
Yeah.
And lavender.
Right. Now you just have two things going on instead of one
Yeah.
horrible thing. You've got,
Okay. What simple things?
One truth and one lie.
Right. Which is the truth? Which is the lie? What simple things can sellers do themselves that make a huge difference?
Oh my gosh, I just love this, because not everybody has a $4,000 to $6,000, $7,000 budget up front.
Yeah.
Now there's ways to work around that. What we know these days with programs and all sorts of things. If you make your bed nicely, if you steam your bedding, if you make sure you've dusted, you have, clean and dusted and no smells, and edit down. Don't have a cat tree in the corner. Don't have 18 glassy babies across your mantle. Nobody cares that they were $70 a piece. Well, I have this beautiful collection. Nobody cares. We're not selling glassy babies. They're beautiful, but we're putting them away.
Yeah.
Just edit down the knickknacks and have ask your chat GPT on a few little things if you can't afford some of these things too. But just editing and cleanliness and ironed things and drapes that are open nicely and towel, bars that aren't crooked, just things that are very simple and make your house look calmer and not broken down or like it needs a lot of repairs.
Like even organizing the pantry,
editing your
the
closets,
refrigerator,
organizing the fridge, clean, smells good. Windex your, I tell people if they're leaving appliances on the kitchen counters, because they're owner occupied, squeaky clean air fryer, but if you can't put it away, your coffee maker, your whatever, your espresso maker, clean. Get the Windex out. Because if that's dingy and greasy, your vents are probably full of dust. And it just sends a message. So cleanliness, editing, have your neighbor or a friend who's going to be honest with you come through and help you move stuff around once you've edited. If you can't afford staging, I've seen people borrow things from their friends and neighbors.
Oh wow! Like furniture,
patio. Borrow it for the photos at least. Borrow some things,
but not too many.
Yeah. Right? Now don't go buy things and return them to Home Goods. That's rude. But there's a lot of that happening, I think, too. Tuesday morning, they'd come in and go, "Are you going to bring these things back?" And I go, "What do you mean?" They go, "Well, people do that." And I go, "I won't do that. I don't."
You're
do
like,
that.
no.
That takes more of my time. So I'm adding it to inventory. But
And I have inventory because it's like every once in a while, if somebody doesn't want staging, I have pictures and stuff. So, and so now it's taking up my garage, and I'm just like,
it's a beast.
It is,
and it just
I might
multiplies because you never have the exact same things you need for the next house. You have to go shopping again.
No, I might borrow part of your storage unit. And
there you go.
Put some.
There you go.
$10 a month or something.
Perfect. There you
go. Okay. So we already talked about staging tips sellers can do for themselves. Oh, this is a good one. What colors photograph best for listing photos?
I think that has a lot to do with what's currently in the house. If you have beige carpet and beige walls and people say, I really want all white, I'm like, you're going to look like a beige box. That's just, I think you need to have contrast. So I think what photographs best And I was thinking about that question earlier because I kind of had looked through what we might talk about, and I thought, I don't know what things photograph best, but right when you said it, my whole thought was when people try to tell me what colors they want, I'm like, stay out of my wheelhouse. That's my job. If you have all beige house, I want to add a little contrast and some color.
Yeah,
I want some navy blue and some sophisticated navy with cream to go with your cream, or some hunter green to bring the
even
greens.
This orange,
especially coming in this time of year. It's so fun. I try to use a little seasonal colors like sky blue and yellows and tangerines in the spring and summer, because anything they say that you put in nature that looks good together, like colors out in nature, look good inside, because our eyes like it in nature, like a brown tree trunk with green trees. Those colors will naturally look good together inside because we're used to enjoying it outside.
I've never heard that.
Isn't that
before.
Crazy?
And now next time I go outside, I'm gonna go, oh yeah, I do
pick
like
up a fall leaf and go, I can do orange, red, and yellow and all mixed in brown. Yeah. That's why we love it.
Is that
it makes us calming.
Would you do that more in the fall then?
Yeah, I would put a little more fall in the fall, make it look a little more cozy, like you're gonna be inside, after trick-or-treating, having some cocoa.
Yeah.
And then I use less heavy throw blankets in the summer and spring because people want lighter and less. Try to get into their psyche on what would be more homey to them.
Yeah. What do you think of seafoam green?
I'm not a seafoam green. I love like chartreuse. I love Kelly green right now. So one thing you said earlier, can I circle back on something? When you said, not offend people, but, make someone like, maybe it was, like if I say, like when I'm telling people what I need them to do to get their house ready.
Oh yeah. No, not offend them. I just love how you are not afraid.
Not afraid to say what they need to do to get the most money for the house that they're done.
Yes.
So
I don't think you offend them. I think I love it.
I can't remember what we said.
Because but I think maybe I did say that. But I definitely don't mean that. I love how you're not worried about like,
my goal
you come
is
in and like, I'm going to make you the most money possible.
Yeah.
And to do that,
this is what we need to do.
You gotta get rid of the cat tree.
Yeah.
You gotta yeah. I mean, you're kind about it, but you say.
If I've walked through a house for any client for a whole hour and I haven't hit at least one nerve, I have done a crappy job.
Yeah.
I haven't said there's something I left on the table because they haven't shifted their hat. They're still in this I'm living here hat. They need to be shifted to how much money do I want?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so if I haven't gotten them a little uncomfortable with a list of things to do or something that they thought looked fine that I said, oh gosh, no, we really need to move that around. If I haven't at least had that happen once, then I've been too wishy-washy with them. I've been too wishy-washy and I didn't get their money's worth.
I tell people that are owners, I'm like if I meet them at an open house or something, they're like, oh my gosh, this looks so good, the furniture and everything. And they want me to come look at their house. I'm like, okay, before I go look at your house, after you're done walking around here, walk in your front door as if you are a buyer, not if it's your home, but walk in your front door as if you're a buyer. That way you'll look around and you'll see things like, oh yeah, I gotta put that away, or I gotta put this away, and just to help people, because
what the number one way to see what's really wrong with your room is?
What?
Open your camera and go, oh, I think my room's ready. Oh no, look. The blanket has a ripple in it. I mean, when you look at a bed or you look at a curtain or you whatever and you just look at it, as soon as you do this, you see all the little idiosyncrasies.
Oh, that makes sense.
So look at it through your phone lens. Okay. That's what I make all my assistants do before they leave a house. We've steamed this, we've turned the lampshades around, they're all even, and then I go, you have to look at every room through your phone lens.
Yeah.
Because you will see the bed skirt's not right, if there is a bed skirt, or
the
edge of the comforter is slightly off, or there's this little ripple. Because you know when you shove a duvet into a comforter cover, if it's not perfect, you're gonna have this little wave look.
Yep.
And drives me crazy.
Me too.
So I'm like, look at everything through your phone lens. And this is great for people that, like you said, can't maybe afford to get a full stage.
Yeah.
You can edit down, you can steam, you can make the place clean, and you can double check through your iPhone, and you're gonna be golden.
That makes so much sense. I show up an hour before my photographer because I feel like I'm like, I hate, like if
good, so you can do my finished work. Thank you.
There you go. Like if the comforter is like this instead of like this, or you can, it's just like there's so many little
So
things.
many things.
Towels, like
Oh, the
they're
towels.
not completely, and that's mostly if someone's living there and they've, maybe they didn't make their bed right or something. So I literally will go an hour before. And
We
I
will
don't know,
get
maybe
them
that's
wet
an
and steam
OCD
them.
thing or something.
Probably
But-
a little bit. I think with age we get a little more OCD too.
But at the same time, once those pictures are taken,
Yeah.
you're stuck with that.
Yeah.
I will a couple
pay for
times.
those.
I will sometimes go retake my own pictures,
Yeah.
like on not panoramic mode, but like the one that makes it more soft looking.
Yeah.
Instead of having to bring the photographer back out again. But
Exactly.
that kind of stuff does not do well for me. What's the easiest way to make a home feel bigger?
Editing and angled furniture is I'm not a fan of angled furniture. So like if some people will put a square console type thing in the corner, and I'm always like, pick a wall. It's no angling.
Oh, like
Don't have it. Yeah, where there's
Okay.
a triangle,
oh,
empty triangle behind it, where you're
Yeah, no,
I don't
there's
like
nothing-
angled furniture. If you're trying to make a room, depending on if you're trying to make it look bigger or smaller, if you want to look bigger, you would have maybe a smaller rug or no rug. In dining
Mhm.
rooms, I'm very particular about if I will use a rug.
Okay.
Only if it's a really big dining room and you need to expand because you don't have a 16 top, or some of these dining rooms are huge. Most
Right.
of them are normal.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get a really big dining room, the way to make it use up the space is using an 8x10 rug. If you don't have a big dining room, never use a rug because you want to see that flow around it and under it, and you want to see clean, not dusty floors under it. Of course, this is only if there's hardwoods.
Yeah.
So smaller rugs or no rugs, and then how you place the furniture so it's not obstructing pathways and things like that. But yeah, definitely never angle furniture, and then the knickknacks. We don't need a bunch of trees on the ground and potted plants and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. Surprising things that buyers notice. What's something small that you have seen or heard that turns buyers off immediately?
Oh, see, it's a podcast. What rating are we on here? No.
Yeah.
Oh, phallic things like doorknobs or toilet paper. I've just seen some really interesting, things in homes that aren't really appropriate.
Do tell. I mean, it's a
Um,
podcast.
really?
They can
Okay.
tell their kids to leave the room.
A light fixture in a powder room, and it looked like a condom.
Ah,
And not I used one. Yeah.
a
It was a
used.
really weird drop pendant, and it looked
Okay.
like a used condom.
Okay.
And it was a very
Okay.
high-end, $7 million house in Manatee.
Wow.
Gay couple built it, beautiful home. And I was like, are we gonna change this out? Nope. I'm like, okay. So weird. So
Yeah,
not appropriate.
That's
So
so
disgusting. Yeah.
so funny.
And I am on some national staging pages, and I've seen over the years, and I'll be like, that cannot be a listing. In the Midwest and the East Coast, there's a lot of houses that are riddled with taxidermy.
Mm-hmm.
Every kind of animal you can imagine on the wall, and then the stuffed ones on the ground. So from elk to little muskrats to every kind of animal you can imagine, from exotic to safari to bears to taxidermy, crazy taxidermy everywhere.
Yeah.
So
And then it
Offensive.
almost looks like hoarderish because
Yeah.
I mean you are so closing down your group of buyers
yes.
when on something
Well,
like
and
that.
what are you gonna do when you take all those off the wall? Is the whole wall gonna crumble when you have to fill those holes? I mean,
Yeah, that's a lot.
yeah. But
Yeah.
taxidermy is just a no go. But luckily that really does not happen in this
No,
market.
not here,
We're
not
not. We're not. Gun toting hunters as much over in the Seattle area. So
What's a staging trick that most people would never think about?
ooh,
Like you go in and everyone's like, oh my gosh, I never thought about that.
oh my goodness, so many things. Well,
Color, size, what to use, what not to use.
what's a trick? You've stumped me.
Oh,
If
good.
I think of something, I'll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll come back to
Staging
that.
tricks. I mean, some things that sometimes it's propping up beds higher. I had a house a couple weeks ago, and it was owner occupied part of it, and she didn't like that the mattress was so low in the kid's bedroom. And I said, well, I have these boxes I use that they're 7 inches high, which is the width of a mattress or a box spring. So I use these boxes for towels and certain things, and they're the exact height of a mattress. So we lifted the mattress up and we put 4 of these cardboard boxes under. We put the mattress back on and the comforter, and it raised the bed up 7 inches. And she's like, oh, now it looks good. I go, yeah, it did look kind of low. Yeah. So there's certain ways you can prop boxes and things. Yeah, I've found 2x4s in garages before because we forgot our slats, and I've laid them across to put the mattress down. Yeah, there's interesting things you do sometimes.
Just got to get creative.
It's called being resourceful. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I did that. Speaking of that, I had a lockbox and I pushed it up, and I was on the phone. So then the bottom of it fell out, and it was right over a sewer grate. The key went down into the sewer grate. Luckily, it was only like 2 feet down.
Oh my gosh.
Vacant home, right? So, I mean, it was staged, but vacant. And so I'm sitting there going, well, shit, what now? I found a stick, and then I was like, tape, so I can put it on the end and try to go down. Yep, couldn't find any tape, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna look in my car. So I go look in my console, open it up, gum.
Yeah.
Took the gum, chewed the piece of gum.
So resourceful.
Stuck it on the end of the stick, put it down in there, and slid the key up the side.
See, you're coming to work for me because I need resourcefulness.
Yeah, I was so freaked out that I was gonna get in so much trouble.
Right.
Like that's our only key, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Yes. No, that was very resourceful of you.
Okay, yeah. So we are almost done. Yeah. Have you seen staging help a home that had been sitting on the market? So let's say someone's like, oh, I don't need to stage, or it's a different stager, and then like, let's say their 30 days or their 60 days is up, and then the owner's like, I'm not gonna pay for another month. So they pull it out, and then they bring you in.
This happened to me last month.
Okay.
I had a house in the Snoqualmie area, and it was a 2,500 maybe square foot spec home. A lot of dark floors, beautiful home, gently used. And they had very heavy leather, and they had bookcases everywhere. And the realtor was cushioning them and didn't tell them what to do. Kind of like when I said, if you haven't felt uncomfortable, I haven't done my job.
Yeah.
That doesn't do the justice for getting the most and getting the house sold.
Yeah.
So what happened was another broker said, hey, this broker's getting let go. I'm gonna come in, we're gonna have like a 24-hour turnover. So it was this fired, get their stuff, edit their house down to almost nothing except the beds. I brought in all the furniture, lighter, brighter, got all their bookshelves out, their dark everything, and we brightened it, and it sold in once it went right back on. Oh, well, it had to go off because it was a different realtor, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't miss a beat because they went on a Thursday. They did a week, didn't sell. They went on one more weekend, and they're like, if it doesn't sell, we're gonna get her out Monday. They're gonna edit down Tuesday. You're gonna come Wednesday. We're gonna go back on Thursday, and we did, and it sold that weekend. And it was so much better.
See, I love stuff like that. I would rather get a house ready in 4 days, like working our asses off, like what we did in the one in Aldera.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, okay, I need you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, that house was, from the time they said we're using you, Meg,
to
go into the market was what, 5 days?
That was a big house too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You guys did amazing.
And they were great clients too.
Yeah.
So I like it when my realtors pick easy and nice clients too. Yeah. So bravo on that one.
Yeah.
But very recently, and when
then
the broker,
how long ago did it sell? How long did it take to sell that then?
They sold it on the first weekend. They sold it on the first weekend.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. So, and then of course then I wanted to go get my stuff because they were living there, but it was fine. They were great. There was just a couple, but I was like, it worked, and when you go on the market and there's no interest or nobody's putting offers down 2 weekends in a row, and it's the same exact house with the same exact finishes, same exact ceiling heights, same exact paint colors, same exact price, and it went whoop right out the door.
Yeah.
Because people don't want to, they can't. You just can't look past heavy. And sometimes people
Like
say,
dark colors like that?
Well,
Like
and I've
the-
also had this happen to me before. Hi, we had a home stage, just happened to me a few weeks ago, and the staging's terrible. Can you come and stage it? And I said, well, maybe they're just super picky. I go, can I come and look and see what you think is not acceptable?
Is this the realtor or the owners?
This was the realtor and the homeowner.
Okay.
So the homeowner was horrified. It was like a $3 million anti house, and then the broker said, I want to decide what unacceptable is, because they might just be too picky. You can't just go, it must be terrible staging, because they think they know better.
Yeah.
I walked in and it was terrible. There was boxes under beds. This is a $3 million home. You can't use boxes and a comforter for a bedroom. I wouldn't
Like
do
the
that
mattresses.
Yeah,
the blow up mattresses.
It was not even blow up mattresses. It was just cardboard boxes with a comforter on it. I thought, this is a $3 million house. And
I'm sorry,
it just
cardboard boxes. So not even
a blow up mattress.
Not even a blow
on
up
the
mattress.
cardboard boxes. No, it was just the
the
cardboard
comforter
boxes.
on the cardboard boxes.
Pretty big cardboard boxes. Yeah.
But it still looks like it doesn't look, still won't look like a bed.
No,
It
well,
looks
no,
like
you couldn't see the boxes, but
it wouldn't look like a
no,
mattress.
it was bad.
Yeah, for
It was
$3
bad.
million.
Yeah, and the stagers should have said, I actually did a video on this a few weeks ago. I said, if your stagers are running out of their peak inventory right now, this could be happening. They might be crossing their fingers, bringing, so when you call your stager or a stager, because your stager's stuff is all out, say, do you have the inventory right now that can, are you equipped to do this style home? And if not, ask them for a referral.
Right.
Do not talk them into taking it just because they have a space on their calendar.
Yeah. That's so important.
Yeah.
Because
You need to,
and you
it
can
needs
kind
to
of
fit.
tell. Because
Yeah.
it's like, I've got everything has scratches on the nightstands
Yeah.
and the light is like this. It doesn't, it's
Floor
like
lamps are the death of me. I will not even buy them anymore, Harley,
Yeah.
because they're so hard to tote around. If you
Yeah,
buy a
it's
floor
crazy.
lamp, leave it in your living room for 25 years. Don't buy them for staging, because you can't, they just don't stand the test of time.
No. And
Yeah.
then that you can tell. It's like, yeah. Okay. All right. I think that's it. You're awesome. Thank
so much
you.
fun. I just love talking about this stuff because
I
I know if you can even take 3 or 4 things and just apply them to when you're selling your house, you're going to just get that money right up there.
Yeah.
And you're going to get the most money for the least amount of time, and hopefully you can move on to something new and exciting.
So how can people find you? Where, if they wanna, you talked about, you have
my
videos
gosh.
and stuff. Is that your Instagram?
My Instagram, I've been doing videos, and it goes into my Facebook as well. I've done some a lot on mindset, just in different areas of my life, and I'm applying it to staging. I also love Don Miller, who's a story brand guy. He's just like one of the best ways to market these days. So I'm tailoring a lot of things to how you market your homes. Sorry, rambling on topics that are complete different podcasts. Arrange It Home Staging.
Okay.
And Kim Denney, and just find me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and any kind of questions you might have, just I can shoot the bull. I can answer questions for you without really charging you, anything. If
Perfect.
you want me to come out and do a consult, I can. If I can't take care of you, I will find you a stager that can. People call me for Tacoma, Gig Harbor, this and that, and Olympia, right? And if I can't get there, I will try to find someone for you. I think we all need to help each other out and
For sure.
get these houses sold.
Yeah.
And looking good.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Looking good, just like us.
Right?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So these guys just had their 40th class reunion
We did.
last summer.
So we went to high school together.
Yeah.
That's part of
And
it.
I've got my 40th this summer. But yeah, so we've known each other 40,
40,
43,
42,
44.
yeah.
Because it would have been, when we graduated. So
And when we were on that lineup doing our little moves, we never
little
thought
drill
we'd be sitting
team.
here.
And here we are 40 some years later, which is so weird because we're only like 46. So
I know. How did that work?
Anyway,
We must have started high school when we were 4.
yeah, we were young, very smart, very smart. So
Yes.
anyway, so anybody is looking for staging, and I hope this has been like just really
realtor.
helpful. Well, yeah, duh. So Kim Denney, and she gave you guys all the information. So Arrange It Home Staging. reach out to her. And thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And I
Appreciate you
am
having me. So much fun.
absolutely. Now we'll go get some drinks.
Woohoo!
This is Meg Barlament, your host, Eastside Living with Meg Barlament. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Take care.